I was born in December 7th, 1936 in Rochdale, Massachusetts, a small town, really small town. And it was a whole different time than we see today. It was a different America, just a different time. Country was coming out of the Depression, but it was a time where it was really a carefree childhood. We didn't have the worries that today's generation has. We would play all day in the woods. We would never had a worry. You couldn't get lost in Rochdale, for one thing. Neighbors all knew who the kids belonged to. You got lost, they took you home, fed you, brought you back home again. We just, we didn't have the distractions of this generation. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have TV. Lord, TV wasn't a long time coming. But I think, unfortunately for this generation, they've kind of lost their imagination. We would go in the woods. I mean, half the neighborhood would meet there. We hunted lady slippers, clay pipes. We were cowboys and cowgirls and cavalry, and wherever our imaginations took us, that's what we did. We played Annie over, kick the can, stick ball, whatever. Our cell phones were two tin cans tied together with a string. If we wanted long distance, we made the string longer. It was a fun time. Summertime, we'd lay on the grass and watch the clouds go by and use our imagination to make anything and everything. Dragons, elephants, whatever our minds would see. Drank from the hose. It was just a whole different generation. It was a safer time. Not that there wasn't crime, I'm sure there was, but they didn't worry about drive-by shootings or the violences today or being abducted. We had prayer in the schools. Every morning, it was prayer. If you didn't want to say it, there was no fuss, no muss. Put your head on your desk. When we finished praying, you got up and pledged allegiance. Class started. Just a whole different time. It was a good time. And it's one that I always cherish. I wish this generation could experience that. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. My parents, I'm grateful. They taught us morals, values, good work ethic, respect for our elders, respect for other people, to be kind, and we were disciplined. There wasn't all this mess of today. You can't touch your kids because it's child abuse. We were never abused, but a good switch on the butt. We didn't make the same mistakes too many times. So we lived through influenza breakout. We lived through typhoid fever, through polio, through the Second World War with ration stamps. Never did the country ever shut down. The businesses, we didn't isolate ourselves, and we all survived. It just was a whole different time. And it was a carefree time. We had fun. We used our imaginations. Radio was our big thing. You sat and listened to the radio. Well, whatever your parents might be wanting, Amos and Andy and these things, but it was a good time. It just a whole different time, and it's one that I cherished. Like I say, I wish this generation could experience something like that, but that's not going to happen, not in this day and age. But that's kind of it. We shared a lot with our cousins. We lived together. People help one another. They, we didn't have the modern. When you talk about refrigerators, we had an ice box, and it was an ice box. You had this big tall thing, and in the top, Iceman would come by with a big block of ice, throw it in there. It lasted for 3 or 4 days. Come by and get another one. My mother and them, they never had a washing machine until, gosh, I don't know when, Ring of Times came in. But, it was a good time. People just knew what to do. My parents or my mother canned everything. We always had a garden. It was a whole different time. So, yeah, it was one I cherish. I was baptized in 1975, September of 1975, so it's coming on, I was 39, it's coming on 46, 47 years. It wasn't a popular choice. My kids didn't like it, some of my family, I'm sure. We come from the Catholic religion. I think they had me in hell because I left the religion, but for me, it was the best choice I ever made or will ever make in my life. It was a struggle, really, but I think the experience that I can relate to is that for me, it was like a weight loss program. And I say that because when I came to the Lord, I had a lot of baggage. I had a lot of hatred, anger, a lot of bitterness, resentful, Lord knows, revenge. I mean, I can't tell you the things that I wanted to happen to my ex-husband. Thank God the Lord forgive me. But as I learned more and got stronger in the Lord, one by one, I let go of these things. I let go of hatred. Anger was a little bit tougher. But each time I let go of these things, it was like, the weight got lighter and lighter and lighter until, I was free from all that. And it was good. It was, I could, even though sometimes it would rise up again, if something happened that, affected my kids, their dad didn't do something, or, it was hard to let go of resentment because he could honeymoon in Jamaica, take vacations in the Bahamas, buy a new car, a good house, expensive stuff, while we struggled, we just struggled trying to keep 6 kids and clothes and food, and so resentment was a bit hard to get rid of, but God just, I think you said this morning, God has a lot of patience with us. He doesn't let go, and it's it's been a journey. I have struggled with it at times. I've been like, if I can kind of equate it to Israel, I've been out wandering in the desert when the promised land was 2 feet before me, but I couldn't see it because I was walking around with my eyes closed. It isn't always easy. I believe following the Lord is easy. His word is easy, but we make it hard because, we want to do it our way. And so, but it's been a good journey. It's been a good journey. and I wouldn't change that for anything. So, yeah, it's a good experience. I've learned that I'm not in control of anything. That, you know, I think one of the best things, or probably one of the hardest things, is putting my trust in the Lord. Just, I've learned that, you know, He had to humble me. He really did. I was independent, I guess, because I was raising the kids and learned to do a lot of things on my own. I just felt that I was independent. But being independent in the human sense and in the spiritual sense is a whole different thing. I had to learn that I'm not independent of God, not ever. And I think trust is a thing that makes you realize that little by little. I mean, I didn't always trust the Lord. I thought I did, but I don't. And I still sometimes struggle with it. But I've learned that by trusting the Lord, we've never, ever gone without. He's been faithful. He's been merciful. I've been in my house, should have been paid for probably 1,000 times, but for 50 years, it's been a home to, I don't know, nieces, nephews, sisters, brothers, whatever, strangers. But these are the things. I didn't do this on my own. God has always made a way for us. We've never gone without food. I've had cars repossessed, and He's always got me another one. Always been able to make ends meet. Some months are better than others, some aren't. But never, ever in all my life have I ever gone without. And I think that's trust. That's trust in the Lord. Not always easy. Still sometimes struggle with it. But it's been a good lesson. It's been a good lesson. I think the most, number one, is His Son Jesus Christ and my salvation. That tops it. That's at the top of the list. I think His mercy and His grace, and I think His love and His patience and His blessings that He's poured out on me. That's three most important. And there's so many others, but God has been so good to me that the blessings are immeasurable. There's not enough time in my life left to say all of the things that He's done for me. It's just, I'm blessed. Truly, truly blessed. None of us want to go through any trials or challenges or life. I didn't want to lose my daughter. I didn't, and I prayed, and I have to be honest, I was angry. I prayed, don't let it be cancer. Don't let me have to have surgery. Don't let me be in the hospital. Don't let me have to go through radiation. Don't. I didn't get any answers that I wanted. So I was angry with the Lord. I thought, why are you doing this to me? And the Lord forbid, Pastor Titus and my brother, I could hear them echoing in my ear. Well, why not you? You're nobody special. Everybody has to go through something. And that's so true. Once I've learned that I can accept what God is doing in my life at that time, it makes it easier. Not that we want to go through it, There's always a reason. God doesn't do anything or allow anything without a reason. There's always a reason. And I think I've learned that if God allows us to go through something, He's going to take us through it. And I had to, I don't know, really think about what is the reason? Why did He let me go through this? I think for one thing is to testify to His mercy and His grace. Am I cancer free? Yeah, I am. Am I walking alive? Yeah. Does my heart work? Well, part of the time. But I'm blessed. I am blessed. I'm 86. I've outlived a daughter, parents, a brother. I'm blessed. I have been blessed from the beginning, and I'll be blessed to the end, whenever that might be. But my advice would be, don't give up. Don't give up. And reach out to one another. I've had to learn that. Reaching out has been kind of a hard thing for me. I don't know why, but it has. But I'm learning that we're in this together. We can't do it on our own. We can't do it alone. We have to, as Pastor Jose was saying this morning, we have to be there for one another. I might be an encouragement to you. You might be an encouragement to me. We sometimes come to church and we've got smiles on our face, but we're really suffering inside. We need to be aware of that. We need to love one another. We need to, we just need to be there for one another. I don't have any great words of wisdom, but I would just say, stay close. Be aware of what might be going on in somebody's life. Sometimes just, hey, how are you doing? Or a hug, or, I don't know, just saying, I love you, can be more of an encouragement than you really realize. And I want the church to know, and I testify to that, because when I was going through all that, there were days that I thought, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. But I honestly believe that your prayers, your encouragement, your support, and your love brought me through that. I know God brought me through it, but I believe you guys got me through it too. And so I'm forever grateful for that. And I think if you realize this, then we can do that to somebody else. I'm very grateful for this church. I'm grateful for Pastor Jose. I'm grateful for all of you. And I want you to know that I love you, I appreciate you, and I'm forever grateful that you're a part of my life. And I just say, hang on, don't give up on Christ, because He didn't give up on us. And I love you, and God bless.